In 2007, Ghana stepped into the international capital market for the first time with the first issuance of $750 million. The then Finance Minister, Akufo-Addo, returned from London with $750 million and several firsts. In fact, Ghana was the first sub-Saharan sovereign state to enter the international bond market and the first post-HIPC country to tap international capital.
We spent 336 million of our own oil revenue to start paying off the first sovereign bond issued under President Akufo, moving away from interest only. Out of the 750, we left enough in the sinking fund, about 250 plus, for the current government to use 200 million to pay off the final installment on that. October 4th, the anniversary, 2017, it was a 2-year bond.
After going fallow for more than 5 years, Ghana was back to the Eurobond market for more loans.
The Mills era, we didn't borrow a lot. We had borrowed significantly under the Mahama era. And the reason that happened was that the Mahama era was trying to create a new strategy where they can combine IMF programs with international borrowing, which is what Kenya is doing right now. So Kenya gets money from the IMF, but it also borrows from the international market. And it blends both. It uses one to strengthen its hand in the other. So the Mahama government took that. But you can see evidence that initially, this was the borrowing costs that we're faced with. We hit as much as 10.75% for a very sudden thing before they went back to the IMF in 2015. So by the time they went back to the IMF in 2015, they were been able to bring down the cost of borrowing from 10.75% to 9% and a little above that. So one of the things that is evident is also that international markets tend to look at the IMF programs as evidence of, or rather a source of unbiased analysis.
Seth Terkper was finance minister, and he led Ghana to its second trip to the Eurobond market to borrow $1 billion in 2013. He returned to the market for more loans in 2014 and 2015, and by the end of the Mahama administration in 2016, Ghana had taken Eurobond loans of up to $3 billion in 3 years.
Actually, I was the minister who, would I say, honored or what, to receive the letter from the World Bank and the African Development Bank telling us that we had become a middle-income country. We couldn't borrow and repay over 40 years. We could only borrow and repay over 25 years when we became middle-income country.
So that was a cap that was placed on our borrowing.
It means that they call it moving to harder terms.
In 2017, Ghana saw a change in leadership as President Akufo-Addo assumed office. Ken Ofori-Atta was appointed finance minister. During this period, Ghana was halfway through a $918 million International Monetary Fund program initiated in 2015 under the previous administration led by John Dramani Mahama.
Now, when the baton was handed to President Akufo-Addo in 2017, they came to meet an existing IMF program, remember, from 2015. And that program, they had challenges, as I mentioned, managing that program because they were still balancing it with international borrowing at a significant level. So we had what often you call slippages, right? Now the government had to double up and try and comply with the terms that the government had agreed. So 2017 was a fairly tough year for the government, right? Because you come and inherit a program, there are already some slippages, the IMF is not that happy. You need to double up and make sure that the program is running properly, given that you intend to do even more on the international capital markets. So you need the IMF data, the IMF analysis, the IMF verdict to be even more favorable.